Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a pretty silly review of a new piece of gear that I bought. If you tuned in a few weeks ago, you probably saw the Reaper pry bar knife that I bought, which is as much as this one, an impulse buy. But this one I bought for a couple of reasons, and I'll go through it with you here in more detail in a second. Before we dive in too deep, though, I did just want to mention that if you're new to the channel, definitely click that subscribe button down below. I also do a weekly podcast, so if you're into overlanding, Xterras, that kind of thing, definitely check that out as well. You don't have to have an Xterra. It works for everybody that's into overlanding, but if you do have an Xterra, I do have an Xterra as well. I also talk about do-it-yourself mods, obviously gear reviews, just like this one. So do a lot of gear reviews and things like that. So definitely check me out on Facebook, Instagram, links in the descriptions below. I'd love to have you as a subscriber so that we can chat more, wherever you're comfortable. So again, thanks for tuning in. And before we dive into the actual review of this item that I'm going to be talking about, did just want to touch on my featured partners. Overland Addict, great US-based shop for overlanding gear. Link in the description below to click through to check out everything that he's got, but basically anything related to overlanding you can get there. Last US Bags, these guys are amazing. They make awesome stuff. I have a number of their bags, and I've always been super impressed with the quality. They are just really well-made bags for overlanders. So again, link in the description below. Check them out. More Overland Expo. Awesome expo that is coming for us in the Midwest here in February 2021. Click through that link below to get your tickets before they're gone. And come and see me. I'll be there as well. And then last but not least, Northology Adventures. Amazing free digital online overlanding magazine. If you click through that link and scroll to the middle of the page there, you can sign up for the newsletter for the notifications when the magazine comes out each month. I actually wrote one for November, an article for November. So definitely check that out as well. So without further ado, let's dive into the review of the Fulllit Trowel. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, today's review is kind of a silly one. I think it's kind of cool. I bought it for a reason. It was pretty cheap. It was like $15. But it comes with this little, decent quality sort of, you could keep it on your belt, sort of a sheath for this thing. But here's what it is. Let me show you, and then I will tell you why I bought this silly thing. It is a sort of like military tactical gardening trowel, right? Because we've all been out there and been like, man, these tomatoes need troweled. They need dug up. So we need this knifey sort of style serrated edge trowel, right? Okay, that's never happened. But here's the thing. I have a full-size Fiskars shovel in my truck, and I love it. It's great. And it was fairly inexpensive too. I think it was like $30-ish, $30-40, something like that. I'll put a link in the description below to that. I take it everywhere with me. It's mounted to my back sort of hatch in the Xterra on quick fists. So I always have it. However, there are many times when I get to camp and I'm like, there's just some ashes or there's like little light work that needs to be done. And I have always kind of felt silly. I'm unstrapping these quick fists. I'm taking down this big full-size, D-handle spade from the back of my truck to dig out a couple ashes. And I'm like, this is kind of silly. Or, it's not always necessary, right? And it's a lot of work to get that thing down and take it out and go and dig. And then it gets all dirty and then you put it back in your truck. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, sometimes I don't need that much, right? It's kind of like my axe. Like I have a hatchet and I have an axe. They're two different sort of needs, right? Use your hatchet for smaller sort of stuff or stripping, limbs off trees when I'm processing firewood and things like that. But I don't need the full-size Fiskars axe that I have. Again, I'll put links in the description to all this stuff that I'm talking about. But today, that's kind of why we're going to talk about this bad boy. The thing that I like is it's got a variety of uses, right? So it does have measurements on it there, which not super helpful. But I also don't carry any sort of like a measuring tape or anything like that with me. So if I ever did need to measure something that's 2.5 inches or less, I guess this would be useful. So that's kind of nice. It does have sort of like a stepped way to turn sockets or like nuts, things like that. So again, probably honestly won't ever use it, but I can't tell you how many times I've been out in the middle of nowhere and been like, ah, crap, I don't have anything except this one multi-tool. And I kind of have to make it work. So having more is always better than having less, right? And then it's got a bottle opener on it. Again, I have a built-in bottle opener kind of in my truck on my slide-out drawers, so probably won't need that. But if I did, I've got it. But again, the main sort of thing that I like about this is, one, it was inexpensive, about $15. Two, when I am pulling up to camp, I like that it has this little sort of screw mount there in the middle of it, because my plane is on my wooden drawer system that I have in the back. I'm literally just going to mount it on a screw. I'm going to put a screw in the side of the box, and I'm going to put this thing on it, and I'm just going to mount it. So it's just always sitting there. If I need it, I can grab it, take it off. I'm good to go. But for like getting some, really quickly getting some, soot or ash out of a fire pit, this is really good. I bring a bucket generally. I don't have to poop in the woods, but if you did, this would be a good option for you as well. This is just sort of a nice sort of option for digging a quick little hole for pooping. So that is an option too. It is stainless steel, so it's very, very tough. I foresee this lasting for quite a while. And especially for it being so cheap, it's kind of nice. It is nice that it has paracord on it too, so just in case if I needed it, I've got it. Again, that's one of those things where everything has paracord on it nowadays. It's like, what do I need with a foot of paracord? Probably won't need it. Again, better to have something than nothing, right? But so that's honestly kind of my thought is, rather than having to take apart the whole backside of the truck, having to, take down this big full-size shovel. Again, if I'm digging a whole fire pit, yes, I'll get the big shovel down. If I'm just clearing some ashes and stuff from the fire pit, I'm just going to grab this bad boy out of the back. I'm going to take 2 minutes. I'm going to scoop it out, just kind of clean it out, and save myself the hassle. So again, that was the Fulllit stainless steel tactical military gardening trowel, if you will. Kind of an impulse buy because I saw it and I was like, that's kind of sweet. And, sometimes you do hit roots and stuff, so having the serrated blade may be nice. Having this sort of sharpened, nice blade on the edge. Again, better than like your run-of-the-mill trowel that you might buy from your local gardening supply store, right? So, again, I look forward to finding some ways to use this thing. I think it's kind of cool. It's a little bit silly, but if you're looking for a quick way to dig a toilet pit, if you're looking for a quicker, smaller footprint way, if you don't necessarily want to carry a full-size shovel all the time, like again, I do use it quite a bit, but not that much. Not that much that it warrants me having it permanently mounted in the truck, right? I mean, and I do go camping and overlanding quite a bit, but I've still probably used it, I don't know, in the last 4 years, I probably used it 10 times. I mean, that's not bad, right? It's useful, but to carry a full-size shovel, to use it 10 times in 4 years, or you could just throw this thing under your driver's seat, or, like I said, use the little hook thing on it and mount it to the side of something. Mount it to the inside of the back of your trunk or whatever. There's a variety of ways you can do it. Or throw it inside the nice little sheath that comes with it and use the little belt loop on the back and put a bungee cord through it or something and strap it to your roof rack. Whatever you want to do. You could use this thing in a variety of ways. So anyways, just wanted to kind of talk you guys through that. I think it's kind of neat. I'm excited to use it to clear fire pits and ashes and stuff like that. But I would love to hear from you guys too on stuff that you've used. What are your thoughts? Do you prefer a full-size shovel? Do you have a folding, military-style shovel? Do you guys have smaller shovels? Do you guys use that crazy Beaver $100 shovel that's cool, but I mean, it's really good at getting through roots and stuff, I guess, but it's kind of like the full-size alternative to this little bad boy. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys are using to clear fire pit ash. Let me know what you guys are using to dig fire pits. Is a full-size shovel better than a small-size trowel? Do you need a hatchet? There's a million different tools that you can use. I'm just crazy about gear, so I buy stuff literally all the time for apparently no reason. But so I'd love to hear from you guys what you're thinking, what you use. So post up down below. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching and listening. I appreciate it. In the description below are links to Facebook, Instagram, my podcast. I'd love to have you guys on as many channels as possible. So definitely go check me out wherever you'd like. Again, thanks to my featured partners. Those guys are just awesome, and I love them all. And I hope that this stuff was helpful for you guys. I hope that if you were just searching for, this specific product and you found me on, YouTube, that you might be interested in clicking the subscribe button and subscribing to learn more. And if you're a normal, loyal subscriber, thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it. So look forward to talking to you guys next week. And let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know if there's something specific you want me to review, and I'd be happy to kind of check it out if possible. And we'll see you next time. Take care.